This is why President Trump's building that wall to keep them Mexicans and them Coronas.
The Mexicans are bringing in all that tainted Corona beer, which is creating the coronavirus. And they always have their conspiracy theories. You trying to tell me that's Chinese? I don't think so. I know a Mexican when I see one. That is a Mexican. Hey, dumbass, the coronavirus isn't caused by drinking too much Corona, bro. What's up? It's the Jubal Show podcast. Thank you for checking it out. Jubal Show comes out every single Wednesday. iTunes, YouTube, rate, review, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Don't forget about the Fresh Till Death podcast, where me and my wife get high and do stuff. That comes out on YouTube every single Tuesday. And, of course, the Fresh Till Death podcast, Mondays, iTunes, YouTube, rate, review, comment, subscribe. But, yes, this is the Jubal Show. Manny Martin is here today hanging out. John Slaton is here. And why did I say that you can't get the coronavirus from drinking Corona beer? Because that people are actually, in the last 2 weeks, since everybody's been talking about the coronavirus, people have actually, in America, I say in America because actually it probably goes without saying, fucking people in America are going to Google this, but apparently so many people have been Googling, does the coronavirus come from drinking too much Corona beer? Or no, it doesn't. The coronavirus comes from China, and it started because of eating bats. I know a lot of people have questions about the coronavirus. I've been doing nothing but reading about the coronavirus for the last couple of weeks because it's just really interesting to me. And we've been traveling a bunch, and we've been watching all the people travel with masks on, thinking that they're gonna die. Dude,
it's scary as shit.
It is. It's kind of crazy right now. Also, we're gonna talk about that. A couple other things. Also, there's a real life superhero. A real life superhero just got arrested for something hilarious, and so we'll get into that in a little while too. And maybe if we have time, we'll tell you exactly what your state's favorite fetish is, because I have a list of all the states and the top fetishes in each state. We might do that, we might not, depending on time, because we did the Pornhub thing a while back, and I feel like that's just similar. And then this podcast is going to become, hey, here's what porn people like in every state, and here's what fetishes they like, and it'll all just be all a big porn podcast. But actually, could be lucrative.
The Jubal Porno podcast.
Yeah. But yeah, the coronavirus is all the rage right now.
That shit is. I mean,
people are scared.
Yeah, and understandably. I mean, nobody wants to die. I mean, 300 people dead so far?
I think so, yeah. And the thing is, this reminds me of SARS. You remember back in the day, SARS?
Yeah.
And SARS, I think, killed 800 people. And there were thousands of cases of it. But SARS started off in like a small area of China. But Wuhan is like a huge city with millions of people. So that's why it's even worse.
It's always China.
It is always China, and it's because of the meat markets.
Yeah.
You know, like I think most of that. I think SARS actually started from a meat market too. Unless I might be mistaken. Let me Google that.
Well,
but
I mean, we did document earlier that it was the Ebola virus that was also by bats. You know what I mean? And I know that bats were the cause of this one. Well, one of the animals they were partially the cause of this one.
So, the Jubal Show podcast today is going to be your home for live, local, late-breaking coronavirus news. But I've been obsessed with it, and I think a lot of people are curious because you see, like, I don't think a lot of people are really taking the time to really talk about what the coronavirus is.
Yeah.
Other than fucking dumbass people and who knows where Googling if you can get it from drinking Corona beer. You get the shits. Yes, it can give you the shits. If you drink too much Corona, it can give you the shits, and you probably feel bad the next day. But that's not the coronavirus. There's some redneck somewhere who's hungover from drinking Corona, and he woke up and he's like, "I got the goddamn coronavirus." I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have had so much Corona last night. God damn it.
Shit.
So we have like a lot of info on the coronavirus, and people are scared, and people are trying to figure out what it is. But yeah, it came from these meat markets that they have all throughout Asia and a lot in Africa and stuff like that, where they're poor.
Yeah,
right?
And so that was my question for you. Is it more so that these people are poor and there's not a lot of food sources to eat? Because it does seem like the haves versus the have-nots out in China.
Yeah. Like in China, you're either I think there's a little bit of a middle class now.
Right.
But you're either rich or you're poverty.
Right.
But one of the other problems is because they've boiled it down. Oh, wow. Boiled. That's funny. They boiled it down to bats because they eat bat soup.
Okay.
Like crazy over there.
That sounds nice.
Actually, I wouldn't mind trying it. Like,
yeah,
before I knew that
if it was cooked right, maybe.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Before I knew that eating bats could kill you, I was like, I might be down to try some bat soup.
yeah.
But
Maybe if we had some locally sourced bats from around here.
yeah, that's the thing. You need to know where your bats are coming from.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, they'll eat the bat soup, one, because it's like cheap, right? In these meat markets are apparently disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the conditions are nasty. It's like hot. There's some of the animals are alive and they'll butcher them right there. Some aren't. They just go find crazy wild animals from wherever and then they sell them for people to eat. But people eat those, especially in China, because there's a lot of like theories that they have health benefits and things like that. So the bat soup is supposed to, like, even more than just a food, it's supposed to help, like, I don't know, cure whatever.
Yeah.
But the problem is they'll get these like wild bats, you know, who haven't been locally sourced.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're not organic.
Yeah.
They haven't been eating the right things. And then they'll have a virus in them. And SARS started from, they think, bats too.
Okay.
From people eating bats. And SARS was in 2003.
Shit,
So.
it's just a lot of bat type.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't fucking eat bats.
Yeah,
well, so here's where Ebola came from. Ebola is the one that, like, basically your insides just kind of turn to soup.
Okay.
Bat soup.
Wow.
Wait. So it basically like boiled down your insides.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Like, you know, you start bleeding from your eyes, and like eventually your insides just kind of
Wow.
like melt
insane.
basically. But Ebola came from bats, right?
Okay.
Eating this specific tree, like they'd like the fruit from this tree, and then they would they go. I can't remember the name of the tree, but they eat the fruit, and then they shit all over the place. You know, guano.
Guano, yeah.
Like Ace Ventura, yeah. The only reason I knew it was called guano is because of the Ace Ventura movie. But they'll eat that and then they'll shit all over the tree, and then monkeys would come and eat the guano, and then they would die because it had whatever is in it that gives you Ebola.
Okay.
But then fucking people would find the dead monkeys and the dead gorillas and eat them. Why are you eating a dead? If I happened upon a dead gorilla, I'm not gonna go.
No,
oh, that seems legit.
Yeah,
I'm gonna eat that.
Yeah.
If I was hunting a gorilla and I killed it, wow.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm manly if I did that. But like if you just walked along, it's like if you just saw a dead dog on the side of the street, and you're like, okay, seems right. There's a reason so people would eat the gorilla, and then that's how Ebola got started. So
crazy to me. Like, what animal, I guess, if you were hunting animals, I feel like monkeys, gorillas, like any type of like thing that was too close to a human, that would be the last thing I would eat. I don't think I could. I mean, if I just saw like can you imagine seeing a gorilla laying like face down, just ass up in the air? You're like, I'm about to eat that. You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess you'd have to be super hungry.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. But yeah, I guess if you're starving, it's a whole different.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's like, you see dead deer on the side of the road all the time. There are probably people out there that...
People eat roadkill.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
The rednecks that think that the Corona beer gives you coronavirus, they're the ones that are eating roadkill, you know?
Like a possum stew.
Yeah. So people
now,
do
I'd
eat
be
roadkill.
fine if it was something that you hit or you were... part of the situation where you saw it die, right?
Yeah.
But if it's just laying on the side of the road for who knows how long.
Yeah. I'd have to see the thing die to be able to feel comfortable eating it. Which sounds really sick, but it is a good point.
Yeah. You want to know that it was full of life a few minutes before.
I don't know if I could ever eat a possum or a fucking raccoon, though. That shit is...
I mean, I think I do you guys have adventurous palates?
Well, here's the thing. You talking about like exotic animals in China and stuff, and I don't even know if this would be considered exotic, but years ago, I was down in the International District, this restaurant, it was a Chinese restaurant, and we had some smoked pigeon, right?
Oh yeah, pigeon's good.
And I didn't order it; somebody else did. Years later, I was back at that same restaurant. I was like, I remember that smoked pigeon was good, so I'm looking on the menu, and I didn't see it. So I asked the server. I said, "Hey, I remember years ago I had the smoked pigeon. I don't see it. You still have it?" He's like, "Oh yeah, many things aren't on the menu." So
that's kind of scary.
Yeah,
many things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guarantee you, there's a lot of places in international districts, Chinatowns from across the country, where like backdoor you can be like, "Hey man, you got any fucking bats?"
Yeah,
yeah, seriously.
And then they'll be like, "Yeah, come back here." And then I'm sure they have places like that.
Yeah.
These meat markets, I read this. I think it was on the Wall Street Journal, but I read this article on the meat markets that they have there, and the way they described it is just disgusting. Like it smells like dead animal.
And there's flies everywhere.
Oh, There's blood in the streets.
That turned you into a vegetarian, I think.
Yeah, I think I might be a vegetarian at that point.
Yeah.
So people go through there, and then they're buying dogs, and they're buying, all these
like
other
cats
animals.
and shit.
Yeah.
Like I don't even eat ass, so it's like I don't know how. I'm not that advanced.
You would not make it at a meat market.
Manny died.
I saw some footage online about this big, huge dog market. I think it's somewhere in China. Do you know where that is, or have you heard about it?
No, I haven't. I know
It's
Korea.
like-
In Korea, they eat dog like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like dog in Korea. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, but the footage I saw was just crazy.
Yeah,
it was just
racist
this
as fuck. No, I'm
huge
just kidding.
market, just all these different dogs.
Well, at least to my understanding with the whole coronavirus is that once it's in your bloodstream, right, the virus can take over your blood cells. It takes the mRNA and starts reproducing its own copies of its DNA, taking over so that your blood is now becoming its blood.
Its blood.
Yeah, so now you start running into where I guess you affect people by, like you said, the droplets in your mouth.
Like coughing on a...
Coughing. And so if you get it on your hands and you touch your face, that's how it gets into your...
Okay.
So that's why everybody has the masks.
Oh, okay. That's why everybody's wearing masks and then on planes. Like planes are disgusting anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Planes are probably worse than those meat markets.
Well, yeah, and I mean, there was a flight attendant who actually told us that the trays aren't wiped down like maybe every 3 days.
The trays on planes are the most disgusting thing.
Yeah.
That and then the place where the magazines are on the seat in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
In there, whenever they come out with like
never
the
clean, huh?
when they come out with the list of like the dirtiest places on planes, it's the trays and that are the most disgusting.
So when I was flying last week, I actually stuck my hand in there to like put something in there, and I touched somebody's nasty wet wipe.
Oh,
Fuck,
God.
man, so I've burned off that.
Now this makes me want to bring, maybe I'm going to take a few Clorox wipes, put them in a baggie, bring them with me, wipe down my tray.
Yeah, bring hand sanitizer.
Yeah, I mean,
anything.
Alex does that. She always brings a sanitizer thing to wipe them down. I'm like, that's such a great idea.
Dude, women are geniuses.
They think of all that shit,
do,
man. And I'm like, God damn, if everybody in China was a woman, they wouldn't have coronavirus right now.
For real. Holy shit. It's just it's scary to me, man. It's just like one thing after another. Like what's gonna end up killing us?
Yeah.
Like
Something is.
I'm too cocky though. I'm like, that won't happen to me.
Yeah.
I saw everybody with the masks. I was like pussies.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not getting coronavirus. That's all the way over there on that other continent.
Exactly.
I feel like I should have brought my mask.
Yeah. Jesus.
I mean, it's crazy to think about how quick things can spread. Like, have you seen pictures of or video of Wuhan, the city where where the coronavirus started? Like, it's got millions of people, right? And normally the streets are packed,
Right.
and the traffic is crazy and everything else. But the video of the town right now, there's like nobody out on the streets. It's eerie.
I heard they're making
Wow.
everybody stay inside
Yeah.
of their houses so that they literally. I mean, that's why the Dow has dropped so much, was because there's nothing coming out of China other than I think shoes and a few
Really?
other things.
Yeah, because Nike doesn't stop.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, I don't give a fuck. That 8-year-old with coronavirus will be at work on Monday.
they got a Diddy quote on the top of the wall: "Can't stop, won't stop." Bad toy.
Yeah.
It's weird. I just actually on my way over here tonight, I got a text from the school district, and about the coronavirus, and all it said was, "Please see your email for a message from the school district with information about the coronavirus. Thank you." And so that initial text, it's like, all right, is it in the school? What's going on? But then, of course, the email, they're kind of clarifying. There's been rumors, but there's no nothing in any of the schools
I can
as
imagine
of now.
if I was in high school right now, the rumor mill with coronavirus, everybody fucking, man, I remember. I should be like, yeah, that motherfucker has coronavirus.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I wouldn't fuck him. He's got corona.
He got the coronavirus. What's the weirdest thing you guys have ever eaten? You know, we're talking about how it came from eating cat. You're like, what was her name?
Yeah, exactly.
She was weird.
Yeah. Oh my god, there was a stench on one girl. It was so bad. I won't drop her name on this. I'm not gonna person. Weirdest thing. Have you ever eaten? You ever eaten like snail or anything like that?
I have, yeah.
How's
I've eaten a
escargot?
lot of stuff.
Okay.
Escargot's good. It's like it just tastes like garlic butter.
Okay.
And some sort of chewy thing.
Okay.
You know?
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, it is good. But I eat everything. That's why I would go to China and I would probably eat meat from one of those places.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm part of the problem.
So yeah, I mean, you know, I think the problem is we all go places expecting for it to be okay. It's like, if it's up here, it should be safe to eat.
Should be fine, yeah.
But you don't think about, like, there's not health right. There's not a real CDC. China is so, like, on a whole different level that even when they started doing CRISPR, for the viewers who don't know what CRISPR is, it's a way of editing your genes and doing all kind of stuff.
And not the jeans you wear.
Yeah.
It's the way to put some holes in your jeans.
But literally, it alters your mRNA, and they basically can edit your genes and take out genes and put in new designer genes. They made a designer baby in China.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure
people's
that
DNA.
I'm sure that they've cloned people
Exactly.
in China for
so
sure.
they have no regulations on that shit as where we do. So, but it's like you go to some of these foreign countries, that's all they have.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. But have you eaten anything weird, John?
I'm trying to think.
You would consider weird?
I mean, I'm always up for trying.
Yeah. You're like, what's her name? He's
If
like,
it's cooked right.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've had anything like too crazy.
Yeah, see, I don't have like a. I was talking about it with Alex yesterday because we went out to eat, and this is part of the. Here's a frustration for us in my relationship is she's typical woman,
right?
Wants you to make decisions when it comes to dinner, right?
Yeah,
always. You know, like they always.
That's how Crystal is.
Yeah, I don't know why, because I don't give a fuck what I eat. I'll eat anything. But just typical relationship stuff, they always want you to make a decision on where to eat or be like, what do you want? And you have to go, like, you could not care at all, but you have to go like, I feel like turkey sandwiches. Or so, you know, you have to have a response or otherwise they think you're a bitch. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
They think you're like a bitch who can't make decisions. Like, I'm tired of making decisions for this fucking bitch. He needs to man up and make a decision on where to go to dinner. So she asks me all the time, where do you want to go for dinner? The thing is, I'm not picky at all. I will eat anything.
Yeah.
Literally anything.
Yeah.
She will eat 4 things.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm always just like, can't you just choose? Because like I don't care where we go, and you are very particular. But she doesn't like eat anything weird at all.
Right.
Like she wants to. She's like, I wish I could. I'm not either. Either she's tried it and she doesn't like it, or sometimes like textures and things kind of. But I'll eat anything. I think the weirdest thing that I ate though was puffin.
What's that?
In Iceland. You know that little bird? It looks kind of like a
yeah,
cute little bird.
Yeah.
It looks kind of like a penguin.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
I ate that in Iceland.
Yeah. How was it?
Evil
It's
motherfucker.
disgusting. It was horrible. Yeah, but I had to try it. I was like, man, that they eat puffin here.
Yeah. I would totally try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was not good though. It was
Wasn't?
definitely not good. No.
Oh, do you think it was just not seasoned properly?
No, I just think it's not good.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably just stuff that just is. I mean, I wouldn't eat a
You
pancake.
could have had a bad experience, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You know, that would be too bad. You know, that could be really
Gotta
good.
go try some more puffin. Time. I would try it again.
Yeah, that shit's wild though, man. But I mean, protect yourself. Coronavirus is out here in these streets, man.
It is. The
That shit
coronavirus is
crazy.
real. So anyway, yeah. I mean, if I don't know if it's gonna actually make its way Like I can't see it actually being an epidemic here.
I don't see it either. I think that they've taken the proper precautions.
And it's China.
Yeah.
Like China, if they felt like it was gonna get worse, they would literally bomb that whole fucking city. They don't give a they don't. Give a
they
shit.
treat their people like shit. I mean, literally. Like Hong Kong, you saw those protests.
Yeah.
I mean, shooting people with rubber bullets and shit. I don't even know. They might have shot people with real bullets.
They'll get all the rich people out of Wuhan, and then they'll just fucking nuke it.
Exactly. They're just savage out there.
Yeah, they are. So I don't think it's going to come over here, but...
except for the ones that's caused by the coronas. But if I really feel like if they make sure to include the lime, they're going to get the appropriate amount of vitamin C, and they're going to be okay.
There's a conversation in some trailer park right now with a couple dudes that are cracking open Coronas, and they're just like, you heard about that coronavirus? He's like, I know, that's why we got the lime, because the lime kills the bacteria. Exactly. We can drink as much Corona as we want.
I swear to God, there's probably somebody, like you said, sitting in that trailer park that's like, this is why President Trump's building that wall to keep them Mexicans and them Coronas.
The Mexicans are bringing in all that tainted Corona beer, which is creating the coronavirus. And they always have their conspiracy theories. You trying to tell me that's Chinese? I don't think so. I know a Mexican when I see one. That is a Mexican.
Corona ain't no China beer.
Look at them trying to blame the Chinese.
Yeah, that's why when I go out on Thursday night, I'm drinking Modelo. I'm not drinking Corona this week.
Oh shit! Oh man. Well, in other news,
our
favorite superhero.
So this is fucking hilarious, and I've never met this dude before.
Yeah.
But he says that we've met before.
Okay.
But I don't recall ever meeting him.
Yeah.
I've made fun of him a lot over my lifetime. But in Seattle, there's real life superheroes all over the country. Every city kind of has their real life superhero. It's just a person who puts on a uniform and goes out and tries to stop crime by calling the real cops, basically. But in Seattle, they have one named Phoenix Jones, and he's like, ESPN did a story on him a while back.
There's quite a few things.
He's like a former MMA fighter, dude. Mm-hmm. But he walks around, and then he'll like if he sees somebody dealing drugs, then he'll try to stop them, or he'll someone's trying to break into a car, he'll try to stop them. And I don't think the cops like him.
I don't think they do either.
Because
I've heard multiple reports about that he did take a bunch of crack pipes from people, a bunch of syringes. So he was breaking up dumb shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a rule here in Seattle where you can engage in fighting if both sides agree.
If you agree to it,
But the first person to get knocked out or knocked down, you have to walk away.
Really?
Yeah.
I know it's I don't know what the term, but it's like a
mutual
agreement. A mutual agreement to fight, and you can.
Right.
So, but anyway, he goes out to fight. I think he's been stabbed before.
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought it was stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you actually? You're not actually a superhero.
And is he wearing Kevlar?
Yeah, and you want attention.
Mm-hmm.
And also, it was really weird because Belle Bear, the 14-year-old, was at her grandma's house a while back, and then we pick her up, and she's like, have you heard of this superhero guy? And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of him before. And she's like, yeah, he's dating. So he's dating her aunt.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's kind of part of the family now.
He's part of the family, yeah.
Damn.
And he's going to be on next week.
Yes, he is. Yeah, exactly.
That would be an interesting interview.
It would be an interesting interview. Unfortunately, I think the interview would have to be done via phone from a jail cell, because the real life superhero is in super trouble. He got busted selling Molly.
Are you serious?
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, I thought I heard a different story. I thought he was smoking crack or something like that.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
No.
That,
I was probably wrong. I didn't read into it. But selling Molly, no shit.
And he sounds like a superhero, because sometimes superheroes, they turn into the villain, right?
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That was the Dark Knight quote. You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Yep. And so he's done that.
Yeah.
Great. He's
Wow.
come full circle as far as superheroes go. Yeah, that's what fucking trips me out. Anybody who is always talking about how much good they do, why Why does everybody who's like that always have some sort of skeleton in the closet?
Man.
Always.
Yeah.
You can pretty much guarantee it every single time. Like
Cosby.
Cosby, which by the way, there's a podcast out right now that you guys should listen to called Chasing Cosby.
That's right. Okay, you told me about that. I gotta check that out.
Bill Cosby was a goddamn monster.
Awful.
Fucking terrible person. Then like any of the televangelist people, they're always out there.
That guy who like stole all that money? I mean, most of them do, but I mean,
I mean, most of them are still in cash.
Yeah, I mean,
him and his wife, they were the televangelist.
Yes, that's the one. Because
are you thinking of Tammy Faye Baker? And
yeah,
from the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
I saw the most fucked up thing where there was. I found out how they did it. They had people fill out prayer requests ahead of time with their name on it, and he would be like, I'm getting a name in here, and then somebody was radioing him in, and so look up this guy's name is the Amazing Randy. He likes to prove everybody wrong with their superhero abilities and superpowers. And,
maybe the Amazing Randy is why Phoenix Jones got busted. He's like, this was gonna be easy. I just gotta go buy some Molly.
But he literally heard them on the. They picked up the frequency, and the church was like, okay, you need to say. Deborah Baker, has, God's telling me that you need a new hip, and we're gonna get you to walk again. And then she got up. He's like, "Oh, you're doing it, sister," and I'm just like, how fucking low.
I know, it's so crazy.
And if you think like for that. The people that are doing that, like if they truly do have faith,
right?
You would think that what they're doing is like the ultimate sin.
Exactly.
Like is there anything worse than that? If that's the faith that they believe in, like they should be probably punished the hardest.
You're going to double hell.
You are, but you're living a nice life in a fat ass mansion with private jets. Like the thing that bothers me about all those mega church guys that rip people off is that the people they're ripping off are poor usually. Like they're giving all their money to the church, and then they're okay just like juicing these people for money. Dude. And I'm not saying all of them do it. There's probably some huge church pastors that are actually legit and just want to help. I mean, they're still getting a big paycheck, but most of these guys, there's usually a scandal at some point because they're usually crooked.
There was
it's a business.
There was a guy named Kenneth Copeland. He was on every like Sunday morning. I remember when I was a kid, and most recently he got a jet from Creflo $8, and they did a Facebook like interview on him, and he got like aggressive as hell. He was just like,
was he on the show where they were talking about the Jets?
Yeah,
you saw that clip?
Yeah, it was.
Oh my God, did you see that clip, John? Mm-mm. So it was a bunch of televangelist guys on one of the morning shows, one of the like Sunday morning shows, where they talk about whatever, and they got into the conversation about why they need private jets. And why so-and-so needs to upgrade his private jet. And it's because God wants them to have these private jets. That was their things last week, I went to 7 cities in 3 days. And God doesn't want me traveling with sinners and demons. He said that. He actually said God doesn't want him traveling with demons.
He's missing opportunities to save people. He needs to travel with them.
That's what I thought, but not him. He's like, no, I need to be traveling in a private jet because I need to be rested, and I shouldn't be around all this sin while I'm getting ready to spread the word to the next people who already believe in the word. Yeah, exactly.
It's so crazy to me.
But he got a new jet. I saw that. He got a new jet, and they interviewed him. And he was fucking pissed because they were asking him questions like, why do you think you deserve to have why should you have a jet this big when you're
just trying to justify it. But anyways, back to Phoenix.
So basically though, all these guys that tout being such great people, like he's a superhero and he's been selling Molly, and they in the article about him getting arrested for selling Molly, apparently they interviewed people, just normal people, and they're like, yeah, we've known he's been selling Molly for years. Like, how did they not catch this guy?
Wow.
So, if I were Phoenix Jones, I would literally be like, yo, I was deep undercover. I was going into a deep undercover state to bust up the biggest drug ring ever.
Yeah. It says so the guy's last name is Fodor or something like that.
Okay.
It says police said Fodor and his unknown girlfriend, I know who she is, agreed to meet an agent on January 9th at a hotel for a party. Mm-hmm. They got outside of their vehicles just before 11 and were seen carrying a shiny gold backpack and blue plastic tackle box into the lobby shortly after the vigilante and his accomplice. That's what they call them. They were arrested. and they found 7 separate bundles of cocaine.
Wow.
Weighing about 4 grams. A scale, obviously, because you're weighing it.
Yeah.
Blue narcotics packages, and another white powder substance weighing 31.7 grams. So he got caught with actually a lot.
Yeah.
It's wild. I mean,
do you think he's stealing it from the people that he's?
I mean, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully he's not like having to buy it and then flip
Yeah.
it, you know.
Yeah.
But God, I was just thinking about it. Can you imagine his lady just asking him? She's like, "How much does the superhero money like pay? How much
Yeah.
is superhero?"
How much? Yeah, you seem to be
superhero-
making a lot of money. Maybe that was just so
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne was rich, right?
Right.
Maybe that was what he was actually doing.
So does the city pay you directly? How does this
How are
work?
you making so much cash? Like you have this big mansion and everything else.
Yeah. Jesus.
Superhero pays well, I guess.
That's fucking wild.
What's his
Yeah.
day job? Is it public
Selling-
knowledge? Or?
Sounds like
drug.
drug dealer, yeah. I don't really know. I don't know much about him other than just the things that I've seen.
You have so much beef with like Seattle, which is the best.
I know, it's really funny.
Fuck Macklemore.
Yeah,
Phoenix Jones.
yeah. Nobody no Seattle people like me,
Yeah.
and I don't like them, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
We fuck with LA.
But it's really funny though. I don't know much about him other than just the shit I've seen about him, and I've always thought that the whole I'm some town superhero when you're just a normal person thing was dumb to me. I don't like. Come on.
Yeah,
What are you
cover
actually gonna
yourself.
do? Yeah, unless you actually have a superpower.
Right. Exactly.
Which you don't.
Yeah.
yeah.
fucking
Unless you're
stop.
levitating. Yeah. Fuck off.
Yeah. So anyway, his superpower is selling drugs. And but if he goes to prison,
Yeah.
I mean, or just jail, people are gonna be looking to fuck him
Yo,
up.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
just thinking about that. I
Yeah.
mean, like that's like if Batman
you're-
got arrested and you got thrown in there with the Joker and the Penguin. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're gonna. Yeah.
Like you're the ultimate snitch.
Yeah. Everybody. Like
Everybody's
you put
gonna be
everybody in
gunning
there.
for you.
Yeah.
So, and I doubt that the cops like him,
Yeah.
so they're probably not gonna really try hard to protect him either.
Yeah. Fuck, you better be doing them push-ups and practicing that MMA.
Seriously.
So that's something to think about. If you decide to become a superhero, walk a straight line.
Yeah. Yeah. For real.
It's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to become a superhero, try to do good
Yeah.
and not take up drug dealing.
Yeah.
Because it can
good
go
cover,
bad
though.
for you when you end up in jail.
Yeah,
Seriously.
it's a good cover.
It really is.
You know.
They think you're doing good. And
Yeah,
Oh,
and you're just
man.
selling Molly.
totally.
What else are we going to talk about today? Let's
Well,
see.
I wanted to give a quick shout out, if that's all right, to
Yeah.
everybody who came out this weekend, man. We had a
we had
really
a-
good turnout. I mean, Idaho and Tacoma,
Yeah.
So it was
We were in Boise, Idaho, or Boise.
Boise.
You have to say it Boise.
Boise.
Boise, Idaho this weekend at the Egyptian Theater.
And John had fans out there. And so-
Yes,
I wasn't
you
in
did.
Boise.
Yeah,
You weren't
but,
there.
But you did have fans out there.
Yes,
so
you did.
You're a big deal. So,
You had some people came out that know you,
Yeah.
and then they were like hanging out all night, and then they got really upset because we kicked them out of a picture.
I felt bad because basically the club wanted.
So we had an after party after the show in Boise, and it was a great. Thanks for everybody who came out. It was a packed house. It was like 700 seats, and then we had an after party, and so we went over to the after party, and then your friends were there, John, and then and they were like kind of hanging out, and then the club that had the after party wanted us to take a picture in front of their banner thing,
Right.
because it was their opening night, and they wanted
To hang it on the wall.
We were the after party, like we were the special guests for the after party. But then your friends got in the picture,
Yeah.
and we're all just like, hey, "You're not with us, though. John's not even here." What
Yeah, you keep saying my friends.
I know.
Your best friend,
I
John.
sent them there.
It was just kind of awkward. So we had to ask them to get out of the picture, and then apparently they were super pissed off about it.
Which was actually funny because it wasn't really us who asked them to get out of the picture. There were other people who asked them to get out of the picture. So, you know.
But I instructed. 'Cause I was just like, I don't know you guys,
Yeah.
and like the owner wants us in the picture, and then
You wanted the
this is
comments.
just kind of weird. Like I haven't even talked to you guys, and you're standing in our picture.
It's so fascinating, though.
So how did it come out that they knew me? How did that?
Oh.
How did you? Were they like,
Well-
where the fuck's John?
No, they after the show we're doing the meet and greet, and they I'm taking pictures or whatever, and then she came over, she's like, oh, I know John, and I was like, oh, that's cool, you know, and then that was the extent of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sweet, yeah, he's not here, you know, and then that was all, and then later on, and they were like,
it was my turn where I was trying to find my one of my good friends who I used to work with. She was based out of Idaho, and she would come to Seattle every now and then.
Yeah.
So I was trying to meet up with her husband, and her friend, you know, over on the other side of the club. And then I stumbled across your friends or acquaintances that you know.
Your best friends.
Yeah, your best friends. That you worked with. And so basically, you know, they were like, hey, can I buy you a drink? And I wasn't really trying to drink, but they bought me a drink anyways. And then I kind of repaid the favor, and I bought them a drink because it was the one girl's birthday. And then
I thought you were going to say I repaid the favor and gave her some dick.
Not in Idaho. But yeah, I mean, afterwards they kind of like followed over to the VIP section where we were at, and they said they knew you and that they were coming out the next day, but they didn't show.
Yeah,
flew to Idaho for me.
Yeah,
they did.
So
you weren't even on
fans.
the show. You do. And then thanks everybody who came out to the show in Tacoma too. Except for the fucking lady. Oh my god, I don't understand why people think it's okay to just talk to comics.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's so weird to me. And so the Boise show was on Friday. Which I also got annoyed with a couple people. Like it happens all the time. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just anywhere, any comedy club, any theater, people are talking to people. But I got really fucking. I don't know if you guys saw it on Friday's show in Boise. I got annoyed and basically told some people to leave.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Well, because I do a lot. By the way, come to a show sometime. Uglytickets.com. I don't want to sound like dicks, but most people are there to watch the show. Most people get annoyed by people talking.
Exactly.
They do. And I do a lot of material about being married now and my wife. And at one point, I was talking about I was talking about something, and then in the back, this chick was like, "Who cares? I don't want to hear about that." And I'm like, "Well, you can get the fuck out then."
Yeah. Seriously.
Like, this is what I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Also, what's you getting jealous? You think you have a shot? Get the fuck out.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's gonna divorce her. I know.
Yeah. Shut up. But I was super annoyed because I'm just like, it's right in the middle. I'm talking, and I don't know why people. I mean, sometimes alcohol, sometimes it isn't. But on Saturday though in Tacoma was awkward.
Yeah.
It was such an awkward, like, you can't even call it a heckle.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you would call
that was
it.
So crazy.
So yeah.
I remember sitting backstage and I'm hearing her like she's just wanting to have a conversation with you.
So, and also I felt bad because I wanted to tell her to shut up.
Yeah.
But the things that she was saying, it's like, how do I approach this?
Because she was talking about her friend's son who had a disability and was a huge fan of yours.
Yes.
And so you were trying. I saw you like I sat in the crowd the whole time I was taking notes, but it was one of those things where I saw the wheels turning in your head, where it was like, oh god. He was like, I don't want another mommy blogger. Let me take this really slow.
Yeah. I was definitely like, because I had some really funny
comebacks that I saw you
dark things to say. So I'm talking. I'm starting off the show. I'm not even that far into it, and then just all of a sudden I hear this like faint voice. Go. My friend's son is a big fan of yours, or biggest fan, and I go, oh, that's great. You know, and he was gonna come tonight, but he didn't come. I'm like, oh, cool, that's all right. So we got that out of the way. He's not here. And then she's like, he's in a wheelchair and he can't talk and blah blah. And I'm like, well, why didn't he come? There's wheelchair access here. And I'm like, fuck. Now the audience is gonna get mad at me. But then she's just like, and then she just kept going. Kept going and kept talking and kept talking and kept talking. Like, what am I?
It had to be alcohol at that point.
Yeah, I think so. And it's like, what am I supposed to do? Like, because she was like, he just wants a picture of you.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I'll be taking pictures after the show.
Yeah.
What do you want? Like, I'm 2 minutes in to the show. Do you want me to come down there and take a picture with you right now?
Dude, my coworker.
So weird.
So I had a coworker there, and he was basically like, man, your buddy handled it so well. He was like, we actually thought that it was like a plant, and somebody was like, you know, that was all staged, but then my wife looked at me and we're like, no, this shit is just awful. I was like, nothing's ever, like, we don't have any plants.
No. I mean, people thought a couple weeks ago, there was that one dude that jumped up on stage, and John was about ready to kill him with a mic stand.
Dude, yeah.
It was understandable.
Yeah.
I would too. You don't know what someone's going to do when they jump on stage.
Yeah.
But there was that couple.
Especially since his wife was just carried off by 3 people.
Yeah.
Dude, wait. Explain to me this. Okay, so what's going through your head? I saw the video. I wasn't there for this one, but this guy literally comes up on stage. Was he? I don't know. And then he kind of smiled in the video. So walk us through.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
if you haven't, if the video is on my YouTube, it's like titled "Aggressive Heckler Jumps on Stage" or something. So if you haven't seen it, go see it after this. But John will tell you about it right now. It was weird.
Okay, so that show, it started out a little rowdy.
Not to interrupt you again, but this is the one that was like, it was again right when the show started. Right when the show started.
Yeah.
Like the one we were just talking about was I'm at like, it's like an hour into the show.
Exactly.
Right in the beginning of my act. But this was literally 2 minutes into the actual show.
And you've got people screaming.
Yeah.
Just doing weird shit, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So
well, it started off, I was kind of, because sometimes I want to think about something local, like a local reference. And we're in Spokane. I was thinking about, Davenport. It's right next door, a town where they're known for speedy divorces, right?
Oh, okay,
and
yeah,
so
That's their thing.
And I got a divorce once, or did all my paperwork in Davenport. Drove to Davenport.
You actually drove?
Well, yeah, I wanted to speed it along. Drove to Davenport. I could have did it all by mail. That's the thing. If you do it in Davenport, you don't have to show up to court. You can do it all by mail. And so Davenport, you go to their city website, which is a tiny little town right next to Spokane. Their city site, unless it's changed, is like all about like divorce, right?
That's their whole claim to fame.
Yeah.
Just come here and get a divorce.
Exactly.
Okay.
So knowing that, I was like, okay, everyone in Spokane. So I kind of talked about that a little bit. And then I was fucking with some people about like.
I was fucking some people. So I was going over to Davenport to get a divorce. I was fucking a few people while I filled out the paperwork because that's how easy it is. They also give you people to fuck while you're.
Well, during the show, it kind of led into some stuff where I was fucking with some people. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then this couple, they were sitting dead center right up front.
Right.
And he was getting a little noisy and stuff. And then you can see in the video where his wife or girlfriend started like moaning. And it was weird at first. I'm just like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, it
And
wasn't like she was. Because I was backstage.
Yeah. Could you hear it?
Well, I was downstairs. There was like a downstairs green room where you couldn't really hear. And I was kind of walking down the stairs after the show started. And then I thought I heard somebody yelling like, fuck you. Blah, blah, blah. I was like,
Shit.
Damn, what's going on? So then I started walking back up. And then it was just a weird sound she was making.
Yeah. And at one point I looked at her because she's right up front and I realized something's wrong. Like she's not trying to yell stuff at me like something. So like in the video where I'm like, it may be a medical emergency. I don't know. And what you can't see in the video is somebody that was there at the show sent me on Facebook. They sent me a video clip that they took on their phone of her getting carried off and like
shit.
Wow.
her boobs were hanging out and stuff.
I didn't
and
know that either.
yeah,
God damn.
but 3 people it carried her out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when they're carrying her out, then he kind of runs back down, and you can see on the video where I'm like,
Hey,
set the fuck down.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of just being playful at that point, like, sit the fuck down. But he didn't look like he was happy about, like, his woman getting carried out. And so then he started walking around to come up on stage. And I didn't know what the, fuck this guy's about. I mean, a friend of ours almost died on stage by getting attacked.
Yeah, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't
what's
know.
gonna happen.
And then when I've told him now more than once, do not get on the stage, and he keeps coming. At that point, he's kind of in my threat zone, I guess.
Yeah.
To where
when you start coming up the steps is when
Yeah.
there's an issue.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody was going to jump on stage, I would be ready to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what people are going to do. Like, the only reason to come on stage
Because I
is
called you.
if
up.
you got
Yeah.
invited up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the only reason for you to go up on stage not invited up, I'm instantly going to think it's to do something
Exactly.
to me.
Yeah.
You know?
I was I had a woman come up on stage once, Grit City Comedy Club, and woman like in her 60s.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what the deal was, but she literally came up and started rubbing my dick while I was on stage.
Holy
I'm not even kidding. Like, weirdest fucking thing. And it was, I didn't really.
This is what bothers me, though. And the crowd probably laughed. Yeah?
Yeah, and I didn't feel threatened. I just kind of was like,
Just let it happen.
Yeah.
yeah,
See, that's so weird is like women, you know,
can do that.
They can do that shit.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, that's funny. An old lady went up there and grabbed his dick.
Yeah.
But if you were 60
right.
and you went on stage to, you know,
and you grabbed a 40-year-old
lady's
yeah.
pussy.
You trumped it up.
Yeah. You would not get the same response.
Oh, yeah.
It just bothers me there's a double standard with that because there are uncomfortable situations where we're put in sometimes, like taking pictures and things. Like, I don't know. I've had women grab my dick. Taking pictures and stuff. Not a long time, thankfully. Or my ass, or be like, oh, can I give you a kiss on the cheek? I was like, no, fuck no.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, so she started
rubbing
her dick.
I don't want your coronavirus.
Yeah. So she started rubbing her dick.
Yeah.
And had an orgasm. And it felt really
and then I don't know, I think I just played around with it for a minute, not my dick, but just fact that what she was doing. Then I got her to sit down, but then after the show...
On your dick. No.
After the show, she was trying to get me to go home with her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you do it?
No, because my friends were around, so I didn't want to...
Like, I might have done it. If nobody was around.
No, it was weird, but yeah.
So, you know, here's the thing: you have so many great stories.
Yeah, we
got to start writing all this shit into your act. Just
seriously.
Your real life stuff is some of the funniest.
You have some really funny stories.
You do, man.
But yeah, the thing where the dude came up on stage, though, I guess after I didn't know this, but the cops had to be called.
Oh shit!
Because they were like, I guess she didn't want to leave with him.
Yeah, I talked to some of the staff afterwards. He was trying to take her with him. She didn't want to go, and then
I think she was drugged, huh?
They think that he roofied her.
Fuck.
Okay, because they said she was totally fine when she came in the theater. Went upstairs. There's a bar upstairs. One drink, and then started going like way downhill.
Yeah,
that sounds like it to me.
Yeah. So,
but then she left with it. But apparently the cops came and talked to her, and then
left with him.
She left with him.
Yeah, apparently later on, they.
Damn.
Yeah.
So who knows? They might have taken something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe
but
she was on Molly or something.
Yeah, maybe that Phoenix Jones dude.
Yeah, seriously, she
met her outside.
Yeah, something. She was in a different place. It was weird.
But God, we've had some interesting fucking shows.
We have. Yeah. We've had some really interesting shows and like rowdy
bar
shows.
Runs, man.
Yeah, I know.
And it pisses you off too. I mean, okay, there's the aspect of you're coming up on stage. I don't know what you're about, so I need to get ready to
protect
deal with that. Yeah, but then there's the whole you're fucking up the show.
Yeah,
it's like we're trying to came all the way here. We want to do a fucking show.
For you.
Why?
I
One person in this theater, you think you have the right to come in.
Yeah.
Now put all the attention on you.
Exactly.
Right.
Or from the radio, I get people shouting out like characters that I've done and like prank calls and stuff. And there was one in Boise. I can't remember what character it was. As soon as I get up, because people do it all the time.
Yeah.
And I ignore it, and then after. Guy comes up and he's like, "That was me who said that." And I'm
yeah.
Like, because they think they're helping.
Like you're gonna be like, "Oh, right on, man."
Dude, that was fucking sweet. Right.
Oh my God.
It was like right before the punchline. Right when I really needed to sell a punchline. You fucked up the whole joke. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. It's so weird.
I have literally, like, when the parlor was there, I've had people come up to me and they were like, "We were helping you, right?" I'm like, "No, you're not helping. I've crafted this, and I like to be in the moment. Like if I ask you a question one-on-one, that's a different thing. But if I'm in the middle of a joke and you yell out something, the timing's all fucking off.
It is. It ruins everything.
Yeah.
And, some people haven't been to the show. If you want to go to the show, uglytickets.com. Don't come on stage unless you want to rub John's dick. But the end of my act right now, my closer, it's very quiet.
Right.
It's very quiet on purpose, And then there's the punchline at the end. And that is like the most, because like that part right there, if people are quiet, it does well. But there are times when I'm like, and you guys know the material. I don't want to give it away what the material is.
Yeah.
But you guys know what the material is.
And you're building tension.
And I'm building tension in the room. It's like on purpose to make it, uncomfortable for a second or weird or whatever. And like the last couple of shows, people have yelled out right in the end. I'm like, you just ruined
the
whole end of my show.
Yeah, because that bit always does really well, especially if nobody's
yelling out stuff. And it's like, I think it was, I don't know if it was Boise or somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it was like literally right when I was about to deliver the final thing. Somebody said something. And I was like, fuck. And then I responded to him. I was like, no, I really fucked myself. So not like, and then it's like, now I don't know what to do because I know this joke isn't going to work now.
Yeah.
Right.
Maybe I'll just fart in the microphone just to end it. Like it just, I don't know.
I will say this though. If you are coming to a show, just a little bit of room etiquette. One, don't record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, did you reach out to that?
I lost it and I couldn't find it. I need to send it. And the crazy thing was she was with the sound booth guy, so he was allowing her to record.
Yeah, somebody recorded a bunch from
all of our sets
from the show. I didn't look at what she recorded mine, but yeah,
Where
don't record stuff and put it online. It might not be ready yet for people to see it out out there.
I understand why Chappelle locks up those phones.
Yeah, I know. People do. They record it and then they put it on their Instagram or something. And you're like, why'd you do that? Not like I want people to come to the show to see
it for the first time, or it being crafted.
Or it's not done yet, and or they're gonna post they'll post like what I'm talking about. I'm wrapping things up, trying to deliver this joke that usually does really well, and somebody fucks it up. Now it looks like a shitty joke. So don't record. Don't come on stage and don't shout shit out. I know it's not gonna matter. People are still gonna do it. But yeah, it was a busy weekend last weekend.
Yeah, it was fun though. I appreciate everybody that came out.
It was good. It was great. And John's got some new bit ideas after last weekend.
Yeah, I've been doing some writing the last few days, so you know.
So, you doing all right though? You good?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I just I get inspired if things are unsettling in my life. That doesn't go well.
Yeah. Well, we're not to spend too much time on it, but John's relationship with the one that we talked about a few episodes back.
Yeah.
They got hot and heavy again for a second, and then she stopped talking to him again right before the show, pretty much. Sorry, I didn't.
I didn't even want to talk about that.
Oh yeah. So we don't have to talk about it. I just want to let people know what happened.
So
and then we'll move on.
You hear that, ladies? He's single again.
He is single.
So
So if that 60-year-old woman's out there who rubbed his dick on stage that one time,
it is weird though when you are dealing with personal stuff literally right before a show. Sometimes it's some stuff that really affects you, but then you got to get on stage with that all.
I've had instances where like something's been going on. I've literally been crying like 2 seconds before I go on stage, and then you got to do a show.
Yeah.
The bad thing is though, for me, those shows are usually better.
Yeah, there's something weird.
There's something weird that clicks in where everything's falling apart around you, or you think it's falling apart around you, and you have to go right up on stage. It usually ends up being a better show for me. I don't know why.
Yeah. You know what though, John? I think that you. I feel like you're getting soft. You know what I mean? Because it's like you used to have a road manager that would tear into your ass.
Exactly. It's like fucking who gives a shit what just happened, John? You fucking get on stage, put on a goddamn jacket too, bitch.
Put on a turtleneck, you fuck.
All right, that's the Jubal Show podcast for today. I'm not gonna go over the list of all the fetishes because I feel like we got enough out. But I will say one fetish before we go.
Let me hear it.
Alaska. The number one fetish in Alaska. Any guesses?
Fish.
You, John, used to live in Alaska.
No, I never lived in Alaska.
You visited a lot.
I've been up there.
Okay, I thought you lived there for a little bit.
Yeah.
No.
You have family though.
Yeah. What do you think?
Fetishes. Wow.
Polar bear claws?
Here's the thing. It gets cold. I think I don't know. Maybe dudes are really into a lot of hair.
No.
I don't know.
That's not it. I'm only reading this one just because this is the one that was most shocking to me. Fisting.
Holy shit.
Alaskans like the fisting.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go.
Huh.
Priceless.
We'll be back in Alaska soon, I'm sure. Doing a show out there, but now we know what you guys like. Not interested here.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So there you go. Alaskans love to be fisted.
Wait. So you think that's on a first date, or is that?
I don't know.
I mean, if you're in Alaska, you might as well go for it. First date right away, whatever.
You're like, it's gonna be a long, cold winter. So.
Yeah.
She's like, only 2 feet.
Yeah. Let's get the whole hand in there. All right. That was the Jubal Show podcast. Make sure you check it out every single Wednesday. iTunes, YouTube, rate, review, comment, subscribe. Make sure you check out our show sometime. uglytickets.com. When's the next show?
The next show.
What is it? I'll pull it up right there, actually.
You're in Colorado, I think.
Oh, yeah, Colorado Springs. By the way, Colorado Springs, every show is sold out except for one already. So that's good.
So make sure you come out there. And then the following weekend, we're at Joker's, I think.
Joker's in Tri-Cities, Washington.
Yes.
So get the info and stuff at uglytickets.com. Other than that, go fist yourself and stay away from Corona. Get the coronavirus. All right, bye.